Welcome back, guys, to another episode of YNNY. It is our 50th episode, so special episode for us. And tried to think of something new to make this episode creative, and Liam came up with the idea of eating hot peppers throughout the discussion that we have. And the topic I recommended to go along with that is Limp Bizkit and their whole discography. So it was definitely a unique episode. Check out the timestamps if you want to listen to any certain points, and keep an eye out for the link tree. Patreon, we'd appreciate anything you check out. And don't forget to check out the poll if you want to vote in the poll. And yeah, it was a fun episode, so we hope you guys enjoy it, and let's get into it. Hair trim yesterday, which I did tip my hairdresser. I will say that.
You defending yourself against that one hater we got?
I can't believe that. Out of all the things we said,
they were just bringing up a point, a valid point.
And they said it in a very passive-aggressive way. They were being a little shit about it. It's like, in the words of Dwight Schrute, I don't know if you guys watch The Office, but I tip somebody for anything that I can't do myself. So I can't cut my hair myself, so I'm gonna tip for that. But I can make myself coffee. Still dying on that hill.
Again, I think tipping is dumb, but in America it seems like a necessity, which is fucking bullshit.
I feel like that's the only argument that we're like really, passionate about. Just it shouldn't be like part of your wages.
Right, it shouldn't be. That's
dumb. You should
dumb.
get paid a normal fucking wage like everyone else.
Like, we're on our 50th episode and we have our first haters. We're moving up.
I've been okay, I guess. I don't know. Nothing's been going on. I finished like 3 or 4 Tony Hawk games. How about that? Is that cool?
That is very cool.
That is actually.
You should be
Tony
proud
Hawk
of that.
Skater.
I think it's like just under 3 weeks until I fly.
That is
also
really crazy.
Partly panic attack. It's like I'm 50-50 right now. I'm excited, but I'm also like, oh my god, shit.
It's gonna
be a lot of stress and panic, but it'll be what you've been wanting. So. Alright, so shouting out our patrons as always. We've got Kath Fern Way, Julia Moving _ Pictures, Sarah's Popcorn Chat, Ardor Film, Luna _ Pearl? Oh yeah, my brother Graham. Sorry Graham, I totally forgot you. You're the newest one still, so I'm just trying to remember.
I never forget Graham.
Thanks everybody.
Yeah, thanks everybody.
Guys.
We seriously appreciate it. From our last episode, Have the Lambs Stopped Screaming? We asked, what's the best Hannibal movie? Of course, creative question from me. And 100% of the people said Silence of the Lambs. Look at that.
There was another vote on that thing I posted for Manhunter.
So 66% Silence of the Lambs and 33% Manhunter?
Yes. And then
those are the right answers. Congratulations, audience.
Yeah, what we've been watching or listening or whatever. And all of mine are new releases, which is rare. Alright, so I watched the new Roadhouse movie, and it's not good, not surprised. A lot of people think it's like one of the worst movies ever, which is an exaggeration, but like, yeah, I don't know, it's weird. It's a weird
it's
movie.
Quite funny.
It is like almost so bad it's good.
My dad's recommended it to me on the basis of Conor McGregor's fucking shitty ass performance.
Yeah.
People have been shitting on Conor's performance, but he's like the most entertaining part of the movie. He's like the only reason to watch the movie. Jake Gyllenhaal, he's so sleepy in the movie, like he has no energy, and I'm convinced it's because he probably like starved himself of like every carb to get into the shape that he was, to get that shredded, and so then he just was fucking like dead after it. Okay, and I haven't seen the original Roadhouse, which is like blasphemy. I don't know why I saw this before it, but like
it's not really blasphemy, it's just a goofy ass movie.
Right, but I mean, to see a shitty remake before like the original, I try not to do that, but I mean, I don't know. So I don't know what the character's supposed to be like, but he was just so uninteresting. Yeah, the only entertaining parts was Conor McGregor, because he acts like he's like cracked out the whole time, and he moves like an action figure. It's just weird. I mean, it's funny. There are parts that are enjoyable, but everything in between those parts is so uninteresting. Yeah, I'm gonna give it like a 4 out of 10. It's not very good.
I watched a film you've both seen finally, When Harry Met Sally.
Oh yeah.
Ooh,
yeah,
nice.
It's good shit. It's about everything I expected it to be. I think it's been hyped up to me a bit too much. I've just heard so many people talk about it non-stop. Like, I went in and I got everything I expected pretty much, so it didn't ever, like, shock me, really. I thought the dialogue was great, though. Like, the writing is pretty fucking fantastic.
I think it kind of lends itself to rewatch, because I kind of felt the same when I first watched it, but like on the second and third watch it was like, wow, okay, yeah, I get it.
Like an 8 out of 10 probably as of now.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I loved it my first time. So I mean, rewatch might help people, but I definitely loved it right away. To me, it was like the writing was like before trilogy level of like romance writing. Like I thought it was that good. Like I really
really good.
Loved it.
It's so fucking funny. Billy Crystal is so fucking funny in it. Even Meg Ryan, she's fantastic in it. I really love her in it. The fucking mustache guy and Carrie Fisher, I love them. They're fucking great.
Yeah, they're great.
Yeah, forgot she was in it.
I watched 3 films, but I'm mainly gonna focus on one. I watched Psycho 2. I kind of had the urge to watch the Psycho sequels because I've heard they're sort of like underrated, and it's like sort of a consistent horror franchise, which is fucking insane to come out of like fucking a film like Psycho. Like you kind of expect a sequel to that to be like just fucking complete dog shit. But Psycho 2 was fucking fantastic. I didn't know what I expected from it or what I wanted out of it, but it was just so fucking good. It made me care for the character of Norman Bates a lot, which is it's weird to even think that. How could you care about fucking that twerp from the fucking first movie? But no, it really does a great job of exploring this character and exploring the trauma he's went through. And the side character in it, like the girl who's staying over at the motel with him, she's really good too. Yeah, I watched Psycho 3 and 4 as well. I don't think they're as good. Like the third one is like basically a fucking straight up slasher movie, and then the fourth one is fucking weird.
Yeah, it's a weird like origin story.
Movie.
It's a weird like prequel origin. Almost feels like made for TV half the time type movie. Yeah.
It is made for TV.
Oh, it is? That makes sense. I didn't even know that.
It's an interesting franchise overall, and Psycho 2 is absolutely fucking worth a watch, and I think I like it more than the original right now.
What?
I don't love the original that much. It's been like when I saw it, it was spoiled to shit.
I don't too much either.
I recognize how fucking great it is, but it's also like this does nothing for me on a personal level, and I kind of had that with Psycho 2 because like no one talks about it as much. Therefore, like every twist, every fucking moment wasn't spoiled for me, and I really enjoyed that. I love it. Love a Psycho 2. Great movie. 8 out of 10.
Great. I give it about the same, maybe a 9. I don't know. That's a great. It is an underrated horror franchise. It really is. Like they stay pretty good.
At the very least, they're all interesting. Even the fucking remake, I think, is interesting, even though it's dog shit.
But I'll always sing the praises of the show Bates Motel. That fucking show is like underrated. That's a great show. If you haven't seen Bates Motel,
I've heard that's good.
It dropped only like last week, and I kind of binged the new Fallout series. If either of you guys have played any of the games or have any interest in this at all, but
I've watched 6 episodes. I love the games, and I've just been watching the show with my friends, and
I mean, I've already said it before, but like my favorite game is a Fallout game, and like it is probably my favorite game world, like game universe. And so like I was, pretty hyped. My expectations were pretty high, and like I thought the trailer honestly looked really promising. Like I was hopeful. It's definitely a solid show. I hate doing this, but like seeing all the buzz around the internet, like 94% are Rotten Tomatoes. IGN gave it a 9 out of 10. Everyone's saying it's one of the best video game adaptations, which IGN gives low scores apparently. Everyone's saying it's like one of the best video game adaptations. They need to calm down. It's good, it's solid, but it's not like the best thing ever. I honestly thought about rewatching it just to like see if I really see it differently, because it's an easy to binge show, it's an easy to watch show, it has entertaining moments throughout it for sure. But I think where it kind of falls apart for me, I think only half of the characters are even likable at best, which is the point of Fallout. Fallout is full of irredeemable, kind of shitty characters and people.
Can I just ask which characters?
I don't like Maximus, the Brotherhood of Steel guy. I really don't like him.
Yeah, fuck him.
Fuck him.
I hate him. He's a fucking awful character.
He sucks. Yeah, and it's like they try and make him super sympathetic, and we focus so much on him. Like it's like split up into thirds. It's got your 3 main characters, and it's like a third of the time we're following him.
The squire that comes into episode 3. That goofy fucking
the
goofy fucking guy.
He's hit or miss. Like he's kind of fun to watch, but then it's like, why are we even bothering following this guy? And I think another reason I didn't like the show is I didn't like the little the plot device, like the MacGuffin that they have to that they're trying to get this entire time. I was like, is this really the whole plot?
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
Is this really the whole plot? But
you mean the head?
Yeah, the head.
Yeah, stupid.
Yeah, it is kind of dumb. I mean, I think Walton Goggins as the ghoul, like, he kind of carries it for me. I just think he's a cool character. I thought the main character, Lucy, I think is her name. I honestly, I'm already forgetting. Yeah. But yeah, she was good. I liked her. Kyle MacLachlan. Oh my, yeah. He's good for what little he's in it.
Too fucking little.
A lot of cameos though show up. Like Matt Berry is in this, Liam. Like
yeah,
Matt Berry shows up, and
yeah,
so like it has cool cameos. It's got a great cast, but like the story is hit or miss for me. But it was easy to binge, I will say that, and maybe someday I'll rewatch it. But I'm feeling like a light 7.
If it makes you feel any better, I feel a lot harshly towards it.
Really?
A lot more harsh towards it. I don't really like it at all.
I mean, there were moments where I was like, I am not enjoying this at all. I think it was like a couple of episodes in the middle. But I thought the final episode, which maybe haven't gotten to yet, I thought that was maybe the strongest episode overall. I thought that was good. And the first couple episodes I thought were really good too. So like the beginning and the end I really liked. The middle really gets hit or miss. Every detail and accuracy like from the game I thought was pretty much spot on, like in terms of looks. In terms of looks and references and like details, I thought they nailed it for like every accuracy of the game. But it's just the story and the characters that I want it to be better.
I will do an album. War Stories by UNKLE. It's their 3rd album. Yeah, trying to go through UNKLE at the moment. They've only got 5 albums, but the first 2 were really, really like fucking special, I think. Their sound is just absolutely amazing. War Stories is like, it's a very big shift from what they would usually do, I feel like. The album is like really all over the place, and I feel like it could benefit a lot from re-listens, but it just threw me off so much on first listen because it just goes like back and forth with different sounds, and it feels a lot like heavier than most of their music, to be honest. Sometimes I come to UNKLE to feel some kind of like hypnotic electronic soundscape or whatever, or it's something that's like really creative or original. Some of these songs like have lyrical hooks that just feel so like generic and kind of annoying. That kind of stuff just didn't really work for me, and it's just very, very back and forth with a lot of the songs, but a very interesting album. Very interesting, and I don't know how I feel about it right now. I'm very 50-50, but like I do really think it could benefit from re-listens. I fucking loved Mayday, Twilight, Lawless, Mistress. They were all great songs, but yeah, I'm a bit iffy on the rest at the moment, so we'll see how it goes on re-listen. But yeah, I would highly recommend their first 2 though. Their first 2 are fucking great. Feeling like a 6 out of 10 right now, I'd say, but it could go up.
Their first album's fantastic. I haven't listened to the second one yet.
You would like the second if you like the first.
I'll also do an album. I will do Frizzle Fry by Primus. I've been a 90s music mood recently, and like a lot of 90s music, not a lot of new metal. And I wanted to kind of get into Primus's discography for a while. I've listened to 2 of their albums, like their 2017 album, The Seven, which I didn't think was that great. It had a few standouts on it. And their second album, Sailing the Seas of Cheese, which I fucking love and have loved since I was like 15 or so. But I've never listened to like anything, before or in between those. So Frizzle Fry is their first album, and holy fucking shit, it's fucking amazing. It's fucking fantastic. It's so, with Sailing the Seas of Cheese, it feels kind of commercial in a way. Not in a bad way. I think the album's fucking fantastic, but it feels very toned down, and especially after Frizzle Fry, I'm kind of looking at it like that a lot, because this album goes fucking hard. It's fucking insane. But this album is just so cartoony, so zany, completely out there. And I fucking love Les Claypool's bass playing and his singing. His singing voice is like, it's very erratic and it can turn people off, but it really works for me, especially on this album. Yeah, just some fucking crazy bass riffs on this thing and some fucking great drumming too. Really love the songs Pudding Time, Too Many Puppies, Spaghetti Western. That's probably my favorite on the album so far. And yeah, happy I finally listened to it. I'll probably keep listening to it for the next fucking, I don't know how long. It's great. I'd give it a fucking fat 10 out of 10. It's great. It's so wonderful.
Holy wow.
Highly recommend.
Nice.
10 out of
I love
10.
it. It's my shit.
2 or 3 days ago, I watched Alex Garland's Civil War. A lot of people have been divisive on it, and I don't really know. I get people's criticisms, and maybe I am just biased towards Alex Garland. Like, I'm pretty sure I already gave all of his other movies a 10 out of 10. I thought it was consistently engaging, at least for me. It's a lot of people apparently weren't expecting it to like be a grounded story just following journalists the whole time. I don't know what people were expecting, but that's kind of what it is. It's like a contained little road trip thriller almost, with these journalists going across America through a civil war. And yeah, I was into it. I thought it was fucking great. There wasn't really any moments to where I was like, this is falling apart for me. I was pretty much on board the entire time. Kirsten Dunst, who you don't even see in, I feel like I don't even see in movies that much anymore. Jesse Plemons plays a psychopath once again, which that was like one of my favorite moments of the movie for sure. Yeah, if you're looking for, I mean, it's A24, it's Alex Garland, it's a great movie. Fuck it, 10 out of 10. I gave it a 10 out of 10. And apparently, I didn't know that this was like going to be his last movie. I didn't know that, or he said something like that, which is disappointing.
I feel like fucking directors just say that all the time now. Jesus Christ.
Right, but
I mean, to be fair, I kind of believe him, because he said he's just fallen out of love with directing and he'd like to focus on writing.
Yeah, I feel like he's always been a writer at heart, and like, you know what, his writing is his strong suit, honestly, too. So I mean, as long as he still does that. But
all his movies are a 10.
That's true. I mean, all his movies are a 10 for me, yeah. I feel good about a 10 out of 10, but it is my least favorite of Garland's work, which still isn't saying much because it's still a 10, so...
I watched a movie that I cannot stop thinking about, and it came out in 2000, and it's called The Cell.
Oh, I want to see that one.
The Cell.
It stars Jennifer Lopez, Vince Vaughn, Vincent D'Onofrio. I've never seen a movie like this in my life, I don't feel like. So unique. Like, oh my god. It was so, like, just vibrant and, like, colorful, and, like, everything just felt new, like, from scene to scene, and, like, I don't even know how the fuck to explain it. It's a very weird plot to begin with. I think it's something that people would really benefit from not like knowing too much about it. Have either of you guys seen it?
I have not seen it. I didn't really even hear of it. At first I thought you were talking about Cell with John Cusack and Samuel Jackson.
A coworker recommended it to me like fucking 5 years ago, and I've been meaning to watch it since, but never got around to it.
I mean, I don't even know what to say about it. I've never seen Vincent D'Onofrio like this. His character just, like, absolutely, like, genuinely shook me to my fucking core. Like, he is so scary and so disturbing to watch. There is one scene early on in the film involving him that I almost fucking dry heaved. Like, I was disgusted. This movie had such a huge fucking effect on me in that way. It was just so disturbing in some moments, and, like, it's not even all just, like, you know, gross shit. It's just, like, some stuff that's, like, so overpowering to your senses, and you're just like, what am I even watching right now? It's like every performance was fucking great. The presentation of all of it was incredible. The costumes and production design are, like, unbelievable. Even some of the, like, CGI from, like, 2000, it doesn't always look that great or anything, but it still feels like it suits the, like, the tone of the movie and everything, so I can give it a pass for that, really. I just loved everything about it. 10 out of 10. It's amazing.
Wow.
Whoa!
Whoa.
Holy fuck.
Look at that. We're giving out 10s all over here, which is good. See,
movies,
we like
dude.
Stuff.
Movies.
Yeah,
I finally came back to a new movie and gave it a 10.
Yes. All it took was The Cell, which I haven't heard
What
of.
was the last fucking movie you even gave a 10?
I have no idea.
Oh my god.
There are elements of it, kind of, with like the plot and everything, where you can see that it does follow a generic structure in some ways, but everything going on around it is just so, like, overpowering to all of that you don't even care, I feel like. But if you were to have any problems, that's the only thing I could really see having problems with, unless the whole thing just didn't really work for you. But yeah.
Yeah. Well, damn. That sounds
very weird.
interesting.
Just strap in, that's all I'm saying.
Oh, well, we like weird movies on here, so I will definitely like it, probably.
I don't know. I don't really like any of that weird shit. I'm more into movies like Bad Boys 2, which I watched recently.
Oh, look at that segue. Look at that.
Well, I watched both of the Bad Boy movies. Well, there's like fucking 4 now. Holy shit! But I watched both of the Bad Boys movies recently because I just felt like watching them. I watched Bad Boys 1. It's shit. I'd give it like a 4 or 5 out of 10 maybe. It's just very un-Michael Bay, and I wanted Michael Bay. I wanted fucking Pain and Gain Michael Bay.
Hell yeah.
I wanted Ambulance Michael Bay. It did not give me that. However, Bad Boys Motherfucking 2. What a movie! Holy shit! 2.5 hours the movie is. Never felt it. It is just fucking constant fucking thrill ride from the very fucking beginning. The fucking movie opens with them in fucking whipping KKK hoods off their head, and they fucking start blasting. It's fucking insane. Like, Michael Bay does not fucking give a shit about humanity. He does not give a shit about fucking people. He just gives a shit about fucking tits. He gives a shit about fucking gunfire. He gives a shit about explosions, and I fucking love it. Fucking Will Smith is even good in it. You kind of forget he has charisma nowadays. Martin Lawrence, he's really funny in it. There's so many fucking good actors that just show up in it. Michael Shannon's fucking in it.
Oh, hell
he just came out of nowhere.
Wow.
Holy fucking shit. Michael Shannon, Henry Rollins, fucking Joey Pants from The Matrix. Oh my god, what a cast. What a fucking movie. Bad Boys 2, guys. I'm telling you, it's a fucking banger. 8 out of 10.
So yeah, mini topics. Do we have any?
I assumed you guys would maybe talk about it, but the Joker 2 trailer came out.
Oh yeah.
I didn't watch it.
Yeah.
I just watch clips without sound, kind of. I just do that with most trailers at the moment, so...
I think I also kind of just saw clips on Instagram of it, but that was a few weeks ago.
Doesn't look good.
You don't think it looks good?
No.
It looks like Joker.
It looks exactly like Joker.
Like, if they go all in with the musical stuff, I think it could be interesting. But at the moment, it just looks like another Joker. You got the Joker in there, you got movie rip-offs in there. It's just Joker again.
I mean, I don't expect them to, like, switch up the formula completely, you know? Like, they're going to keep the same aesthetic, for sure, because it's, like, within the same continuity kind of thing. I mean, it makes sense to keep the same look, but, like, I feel like the movie will be very different with the 15 musical numbers, and then Lady Gaga, Harley Quinn thrown in there. Like, it's going to feel like a different movie,
She looks pretty good.
Yeah.
I think Lady Gaga looks pretty good as Harley Quinn. I think I'm looking forward to seeing her. I feel like the first Joker movie didn't go far enough, and it's just kind of boring. It's very simplistic and just a big rip-off of other movies. It's carried by the score and Joaquin Phoenix mainly. And if this does something different, if this offers something new, I'm sure it'll be fine. But I'm sure like a lot of people will hate it more than the first because it is a musical. That has already turned off like half the fucking fan base.
There's like some shots of like the sets or whatever in the movie and stuff like for the musical numbers, and I'm just like, it just looks so put together and like too perfect. Pushing the style like is a really big thing at the moment. I feel like it's just because the aesthetic of things gets like posted and reposted constantly, you know. It's like always about the aesthetic and the look.
Yeah, films are a visual medium.
Yeah, but they're also an audio medium, and they also have writing and fucking like characters and depth and shit, you know. Like that's what I'd like from this movie, but I don't think it's gonna give me that.
We'll see if it gives us that. All we have to go based off is the style, I guess. So yeah, it could seem like it's more style over substance, but we could be surprised.
Well, to combo with that though, the fucking Maxine trailer dropped too.
That's true.
I don't give
Which
a fuck.
I did.
So
I was
not
forced
gonna
to
say
see
anything.
that. So
did we see the fucking Bates Motel shit? Jesus Christ.
That's on the fucking Universal lot. She's not going in the fucking Psycho
like the
universe.
way they're fucking hyping it up in the trailer like it's a Marvel cameo, fuck off.
No, it makes sense. It makes sense.
No, I'm saying
You haven't seen Psycho 2!
I'm saying as a marketing thing, I'm saying the trailer itself, not the movie. Calm down.
Maxine looks fucking sick.
Looks fucking
That's all
terrible.
I'm saying.
I will say, after seeing the trailer, I mean, it at least looks like it could be the best of the three, but that's not saying much for me, obviously. But I mean, I feel like it could be what I enjoyed. This one looks like more of a entertaining, engaging slasher than X was for me. That's what the vibe this gave me. So like, I feel like I'll go in maybe expecting at least not to be as bored as I was during X. I had one little mini one which almost like relates kind of to our main topic, so I figured I would bring it up.
What did he do?
He's doing something. He's up to something. So I branching out from music, and he's going to be having his own podcast. And
No.
This guy's gonna have his podcast. Yeah, and his podcast is not gonna be music related at all. It's gonna be about UFOs.
Does he have fucking Mark Hoppus on it?
I don't know who's that. Is that the Ancient Aliens guy?
No, it's fucking Blink-182 guy who fucking left the band to start researching UFOs.
Oh, I don't know, but that'd be perfect. But no, well, I'll give it a listen. I'll probably love it. I'll think it's hilarious. And apparently Billy Corgan, because it was like lumped in with that news.
Oh, no.
Billy Corgan's gonna be having his own podcast too. Not even kidding.
Oh,
like so I don't know what.
Sorry, I thought you were gonna say fucking Billy Corgan and Fred Durst together. I'd kill myself. Holy
no,
shit.
I think Billy Corgan will be having his own podcast.
There's 2 new soundboards, I think.
Visually, it had a lot of cool visuals.
Nice. In a way, Liam is quite like Will Graham.
Thank you.
All right, so getting into the main topic, it is our 50th episode, our 50th celebration. So yeah, what's What's our like last 3 favorite episodes that we've done?
Before I was part of the podcast, I was a podcast listener, so I can also say which ones I enjoyed, I suppose. I think one of my favorite episodes that you guys have done on your own, I really liked the Beau Was Afraid episode. Yeah, good job on that one, guys. That was a good little discussion. I'm being genuine. Like, I thought it was pretty good, and there was a lot of interesting discussions about the film.
From at least the past, like, recent ones that I really liked. I mean, I really liked, not just because it was my topic, but the System of a Down episode. I did have a lot of fun talking about all those albums. And then Midnight Mass, I think I really liked that a lot, because that really, like, surprised me. I was mixed
on... You watched it fucking twice.
Yeah, then I watched it fucking twice, because, like, I loved it. I loved it so much.
I'll second that. That's probably my favorite episode I've been a part of.
Yeah.
And again, not because I recommended it, but I thought the discussion was very meaty, and I like talking about it, and it's a great show.
I think I said, like, around the time it came out that I think it's, like, our best so far, and I'd probably still say that. But it's not even just, like, Midnight Mass and everything. Like, everything was just flowing so well on that episode, it felt like, so.
The Whale Zone was a good little episode. I liked that one.
Yeah. I mean, speaking of episodes Julia was on, I really liked the Alien episode. I thought was good, where we talked about those alien movies.
Fun, yeah. I love Murder Goes in Videotapes.
Love that one too.
Everything since Keelan has joined has been like really fucking good.
I'm the best.
Look at that. He basically said it's because of you, Keelan. How does it make you feel?
It's not because of that. It has a different dynamic and stuff, and it's really.
It does.
Yeah.
I think 3 is like the sweet spot for a lot of podcasts. Like, you know, 2 sometimes is not enough. 4 starts to feel like a crowd, but 3 is like a good number for that.
It is.
And I'll mention one last one that has is a place in my heart. As much as I hate the movies, I really liked the prequel discussion. That was a really fun episode. I think that was like the second time I was on.
Yeah, I forgot how that played out. All I know is I'm sure I was defending them the entire time. 50 episodes. We've been going since January of 2022. Yeah, so I guess with it being along with our 50th special episode, whatever, then Liam had the idea to eat hot peppers on the podcast, so then we're just going to be dying. We'll all be suffering, but you two will especially be suffering because the topic I picked, I suggested that we talk about the discography, Limp Bizkit's entire discography. So we're going to be talking about that as we eat these hot peppers. They're a super, regardless of however you feel about them, they are an incredibly, like, influential and iconic, in a way, important nu metal band. They are a part of the big 4 of nu metal, and they did, like, help pioneer the sound. Regardless of it, whether you think it's good or bad, they did. A lot of different bands bring different qualities and different things to the table. This was just a band that, like, I've heard the big hits from. I've heard all the big hits, but I never really dived deep into it. I started to, but then I figured, why don't we all dive into it, and so I'm not alone. Once we introduce the album, we have to start eating the hot stuff, and then we go on talking about it, and then so on. Limp Bizkit is an American nu metal band from Jacksonville, Florida. Its lineup consists of lead vocalist Fred Durst, drummer John Otto, guitarist Wes Borland, turntablist DJ Lethal, and bassist Sam Rivers. The band's music is marked by Durst's angry vocal delivery and Borland's sonic experimentation. Borland's elaborate visual appearance, which includes face and body paint, masks, and uniforms, also plays a large role in Limp Bizkit's live shows. The band has been nominated for 3 Grammys. They sold 40 million records worldwide and won several other awards. They're not by any means my favorite nu metal band or anything, and I can only say that I really love one of their albums, and that's it. But I will always be a defender because I think Fred Durst is hilarious and he's such a character, and they just have such a distinct image and quality about them, which led them to gain such a cult following. And so yeah, even though they are a band that is easy to pick on and they've been a big target in the music world, and people love to pick on Limp Bizkit because they are an easy target, their sound just like really grew a certain type of audience, and they're far from perfect, but I will always defend them because I just think they're unique.
Obviously I've heard of Limp Bizkit before. I grew up in the fucking 2000s. Of course I fucking heard of Limp Bizkit. They're fucking everywhere. You can't fucking escape them. But yeah, I'd only ever heard the big hits like, you know, Rollin', Nookie, Break Stuff, that sort of stuff. I have never had harsh feelings towards them. I've always kind of found Fred Durst to be quite funny. I like those 3 songs, and I'm going to be fucking completely candid in this episode, by the way. Fucking hold on to your seats.
I expect it.
I've always thought of Limp Bizkit as like a band for like alcoholic wife beaters.
Yeah.
Like a specific type of American alcoholic wife beater who just sits at home all day watching football, maybe a bit of wrestling. He has like, you know, a stained tank top on. Yeah. That's kind of what I've always thought about Limp Bizkit, but I've never hated them until I started listening to their music.
Man,
I didn't really have any opinion on Limp Bizkit before this, really. They were always something that I just heard being shat on mostly. I'd heard like a couple of hits, I think, but that's about it, really. And I don't know much else about them. I'd seen The Fanatic. Really, that's like the only fucking introduction into Fred Durst I had. So, yeah.
You know, he's such an interesting person to talk about because this feels like a person that like never should have been famous, but then they became famous.
That's actually
and,
true.
Like with his plain white t-shirt, backwards red cap, and his little like goatee, and that's like an iconic image now. He's described himself as like a hillbilly from fucking Jacksonville. Like, you know, that's all he is deep down.
Can I say 2 positive things about Limp Bizkit before we get started?
That'd be refreshing.
Just so people don't think that I'm a complete hater. I watched a couple of their music videos. Fred Durst directed pretty much every one of their music videos. And you know what? They're very well directed. He knows what looks good. And he knows what kind of holds up. And, you know, good for him. Yeah. Good for him. He's good at that. Despite how I feel about the music, if given the opportunity, I'd probably go see Limp Bizkit live. Just to say I saw them.
Yeah.
I think that would be fucking... Like, if someone asked me, hey, you want to go see Limp Bizkit? I'd be like, yeah, go on. Yeah, sure.
Dude.
I'll fucking do it.
I'm telling you, they performed... there was like you can look it up from a few months ago. They performed at the 2024 like Lollapalooza in like Chile or somewhere. The fucking crowd was like bigger than ever, and they were like so into it. Like they've somehow like maintained relevancy so much, and I think there's even like a resurgence to like a new generation or something. And dude, the energy of their fucking performances are crazy. And like it said in that description,
they do have energy.
There is a lot of creativity within the band when it comes to like their guitarist, like I said, because apparently their guitarist builds these crazy fucking like outfits and suits for themselves throughout their tours. Like there's like, I looked up an old clip, this dude built himself like what looked like a fucking Iron Man suit. Like he literally like builds costumes and like he goes out and performs in them, and it's like they really try. I guess they really try creatively.
Anything I like from them is pretty much carried by Wes Borland. I think he has a lot of potential, but he rarely shows it.
I feel like, and a lot of people consider him to be one of like the most underrated guitarists ever, and they consider him like...
He's a good guitarist.
He is. He
doesn't get the chance to flex his creativity with Limp Bizkit, I think.
I know, and I agree. I really feel like he's overqualified for Limp Bizkit. Hey, before we even introduce this first album, should we take a bite finally of the hot peppers? And 3, 2, 1, go. Oh god.
Oh no.
Oh no, it's gonna have a fucking delayed effect. Oh god.
Oh god. That was so many.
Yeah, their first album. Alright, so $3 Bill Y'all is the debut album. Came out in 1997. And even I, to start, will say this is rough. It's a rough album, I think.
It's a little rough.
The one song that really blew up from it is a cover song, and from George Michael of all people. And to me, even that song doesn't work. I really don't think it works.
I just want to say briefly as well, just so people don't get the impression that I went in wanted to hate this, because I would not do this to myself if I wanted to fucking hate Limp Bizkit. I listened to every one of their fucking albums twice. I was trying to look for something
good
to fucking like in them. So any criticism I will have, just know I wanted to like something. I was fucking looking desperately. And yeah, $3 Bill Y'all, I listened to it again today. Oh god, I fucking hate it. It's fucking dog shit. My god, man. It's an hour-long album.
Yeah.
The last song is a fucking 17-minute long instrumental song.
Yeah.
Nothing fucking happens in it.
Nope.
It is like the same 2 fucking notes over and over for 17 fucking minutes.
Yeah.
Holy fucking shit. It's so fucking boring. But when he's trying to do George Michael vocals, I'm like, Fred, for fuck's sake, man, what are you doing?
I kind of...
This isn't you.
I know, I really don't like the vocal delivery. Even the part where he's like screaming the chorus, like that was kind of a I mean, it's like at least they put a spin on it. Like, it's a fucking metal song. Like, What If Faith was a metal song? That's basically all it is. Like, I will say, like, as for their outro song, everything, I don't even remember what it sounds like, and I listened to their albums multiple times as well in preparation for this, and I already forgot that song. I think that happens a lot with their outro songs on some of these albums, and we'll definitely get it. I mean, I know you know what I'm talking about with some of their fucking outros. So even I think their outros are so unnecessary. Yeah. No,
I just remembered. Sorry.
Yeah. Their outros are really unnecessary on like half of their albums, at least for me. I don't know if I was to name, and like I said, I think this album's rough. It's not my favorite by any means. I don't really like it that much. But Counterfeit, I thought was solid. Sour, I at least like the instrumental on Sour, like the opening, like I don't know if you can even remember that. I don't know. It's just really rough sounding. Indigo Flow, I think, is okay, but like I don't know who's on that song. That doesn't even sound like Fred.
I think what kind of bugged me about this album is like Limp Bizkit have kind of like marketed themselves as like more like goofy and free. This album is like, it very much feels like setting the stage for them, but like in a really, really rough way, because it doesn't feel like they're playing to their strengths at all in this. It's like with albums later, like even if I like hated them more or whatever, like at least it was something where they kind of knew what they were at that point, and they were trying to lean into that more. Whereas this, it just feels like they have no identity to them. It's just bullshit.
One song kind of stood out to me as being particularly fucking annoying.
Only one.
Stinkfinger?
Oh, that's a classic Limp Bizkit title right there, yeah.
The name alone makes me want to not click on the song.
I think I told this to Liam when we were both launching into our Bizkit journey, but like Limp Bizkit intentionally titled their things like something off-putting so they turn away the wrong people or whatever. Because like Limp Bizkit is referenced to like,
you don't even need to have an explanation for that, I feel like.
Before I get into Stinkfinger though, with what Liam's saying about like how they try to market themselves as more lighthearted and goofy and stuff, I rarely ever feel that. I always feel there's an air of self-seriousness about Limp Bizkit's music, and I think it's prevalent on here. I don't think it's the worst on here.
I at least feel like at a certain point they knew their audience. That's all I'm saying.
I think that's very late on though. I want to talk about Stinkfinger for a second. It's a hater tune. Fred Durst is just hating on this fucking poor kid for no fucking reason. He gives no reasons whatsoever. Out of your mouth comes nothing but shit. Still I listen, I absorb you, amuse me, idiot. All bent out of shape because I piss on your gate. I need to get you out of my way. Pack them bags, punk. Get the fuck out of here.
All we know is that that's a theme that carries across a lot of Limp Bizkit songs and albums, is this anger and aggression. And we don't know, like I've listened to a lot of Fred Durst interviews, and even a podcast episode where he's interviewed in preparation for this. He always talks about how he was bullied. Like, he was extremely bullied growing up. Like, he was like, tortured growing up. So that would explain maybe the anger and aggression in like his lyrics, you know.
The bullied becoming the bully, because all of their songs just sound like from the perspective of a big bully. Yeah. That's very... I don't like it.
But then I don't know.
Makes me feel like I'm back in primary school.
Like I said, this is why this music reaches out to a lot of young teens, because guess what? There's probably a lot of...
And wife beaters.
And wife beaters. But like, a lot of the lyrics, like, they are aggressive, but a lot of them... And I can name off specific songs when we get to those albums. Like, they do come across more, you know, stay out of my face or you'll get knocked the fuck out type stuff. Like, basically, like, this anger of, like, defending yourself. I know, but, like, more defending yourself than just going out of your way to hurt people. I don't think Fred Durst is just wanting to go out of his way to hurt people. I don't know. All I know is that this was their first album. I think they were testing the waters with everything when it comes to their sound and their identity, and this was before they became really goofy. I think they tried to, like... at first, it's almost like they want you to take them seriously, and then I think they finally get more tongue-in-cheek.
Goofiness.
I will actually agree that Limp Bizkit, the last thing I listen to them for is the lyrics. The lyrics are the most basic, bare minimum. That is good to know. Lyrics. They're repetitive.
That's very good to know.
I'm going to give it a 5 out of 10, and because I feel mixed on it. Kind of like some songs here and there, but... I don't really like the album.
I'd give it a 2 out of 10.
Yeah, I'm right there with Liam. I give it a 2 out of 10.
Yeah, I didn't find much to latch onto with it. There were a few like moments with instrumentals that I found myself enjoying, but that's really it. Oh, that was more than last time, definitely.
Yeah, the seeds definitely make it hotter. Oh my gosh.
This is more of a slow burn this time. It's like the fucking... I was trying to think of a slow burn director. I can't right now. I'm too spiced up.
This is the
It's
Terrence
the David
Malick
Fincher
of...
of...
Oh.
It's the Terrence Malick of jalapenos.
Yeah,
That's better, yeah.
Okay, yeah, significant other.
An improvement.
Yeah.
An improvement for sure.
Yes, and I think everyone would agree with that. Like, it's definitely an improvement. And finally, some big songs that aren't just a random, stupid cover song.
Oh, fuck me.
Oh,
Fuck.
Yeah, it's... Yeah.
Fucking hit. Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, no, it's still hitting me. Their second album released in 1999. Say what you will about this album, it is anything but a sophomore slump or whatever they call it, you know? I think the only two songs I really do enjoy coming back to are the biggest songs off the album, which is Break Stuff and Nookie. Like, I think there's a reason those songs blew up. Nookie just has, like, one of the most... The instrumental is, like, one of my favorite Limp Bizkit instrumentals. It's such a fucking creative riff, and, like...
It's really cool.
Yeah, I love the instrumental.
Break Stuff is probably Limp Bizkit's best song. It's just a lot of fun.
Yeah,
like
it
what?
is.
Sorry, the fucking spices hit me. Fuck me. Yeah, everything we're kind of saying about like Limp Bizkit's lyrics and all that, I think it's kind of it's their best song lyrically because it is just kind of like a pure rager. Yeah, it's kind of the quintessential Limp Bizkit song in that way. It's fun. Borland's just fucking 2-chord riff is fucking badass. It does the job. It's only 2 chords, but like it does the job.
Yeah.
And I really like it.
I really do like. Sometimes it's like less is more when it comes to the instrumentals, and I do like kind of the really simplified instrumentals, and it just works for the song. It really does.
It felt like a better flowing album as well, definitely.
I liked Just Like This. I thought that was a solid opener after the intro, whatever that was. I don't remember if that was even a thing.
I just wrote down one. It was End Together Now. I did like that.
Oh yeah, it's just the shut the fuck up, like that thing. That's all I remember from that song, but it was a solid song. I like when he brings, that's another thing that happens throughout their discography. They bring in really well-known rappers. I mean, Snoop Dogg shows up later on. It's weird, but then again, like, I guess that is the point of nu metal. Nu metal is a mix of metal and rap.
As well as having some of their best songs, I think it also has like at least a top 3 worst Limp Bizkit song.
Oh no.
In No Sex. I fucking hate that song. An incel anthem. It's so fucking Fred Durst just moaning about like, oh, I had sex with this bitch, but fucking should I have? She was like a whore or whatever. It's just like, dude, shut up. I don't want to hear your fucking bullshit. Like, fucking, some of these lyrics is like, it's my ass and your perfume that make temptation hard to refuse, so I guess we undress to have sex, dirty sex. Sex has become all I know about you. Oh my god, like, what do you want about me? What do you want about, like,
when he's not when he's not singing about like beating somebody up or like, you know, saying fuck you, then it is like weird sexual stuff, and I'm not into those songs. I really don't care for those at all.
That whole song just
like,
makes
look,
it sound like he had like a really bad one night stand and just wanted to rant about it. It's weird.
This is a very weighted word, but I think it applies to this song, but I think it's straight up misogynistic. Like, it's fucking it's just fucking so disrespectful and disgusting. It's just like, God, man, fucking tone it down.
This could very well be from his own experiences, or it could be him knowing his audience and really milking who his audience is and knowing that they would like that. That's the thing.
I like to
about
imagine
Fred.
it's his experience.
I enjoyed when I first listened to it. I enjoy it less so now. It's kind of become like repetitive to me. Is Rearranged. I think the instrumental in that is quite nice.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's pretty decent. Of all of the Limp Bizkit albums, this has a higher hit rate of like songs that I'm indifferent to and songs that I like. It's kind of weird because I still don't like the album overall, but it's not an insufferable way to spend an hour. But its biggest flaw is it's an hour long.
Yeah, it's a bit too bloated. Yeah, if it was shortened up, it could have been easily.
It's probably
one of their best
the
albums.
It's probably the Limp Bizkit album I'd be the most likely to come back to.
No, even with critics, I think it has like a decent critical reception.
Probably. It's a lot more polished up than their last album too, because their last album was just so rough to listen to. Like, even just sonically, like, it sounded rough. This was just cleaned up so much, and it just sounds like an actual, like, a mainstream album. And yeah, it is too long though. I'm Broke is another song I kind of like. I just love that. I'm broke. I don't know why it gets stuck in my fucking head. That and it's like, yeah, sometimes when I'm feeling broke, it's like, I'm with you, Fred. I know you weren't broke when you wrote the song, probably, but sometimes I am. I would give it a 7 out of 10. I think it's solid.
I would give it a 3 out of 10. Yeah, it could go up slightly, but I don't see it going up like that much.
Upon further thought, it doesn't annoy me as much. It has some bangers. I don't completely hate it. I'd give it a 3 out of 10. Closer to a 4 than a 2 at this stage. It's fine. We're judging off Limp Bizkit here. Like, this is top tier in terms of Bizkit, you know?
Well, let's take a bite. Yep, that was a big bite. Fuck. That was a really big bite.
I've eaten half this jar already.
And he's still got his hot sauce bottle. He'll just pull a cone in and drink from it.
Good, because you better shut up for this one, because I love this album.
I fucking love it too.
Oh, what's wrong with him?
Shut up.
Oh my god.
It
He
hurts.
needs to drink some milk. I unironically love this album, and we're talking about
The worst
the
title
chocolate.
in history.
It's either the worst title or the best title, depending on how you look at it. Chocolate Starfish and the Hot Dog Flavored Water came out in the year 2000. What an album to kick off the new century. I guess while we were talking about the title and the album cover, because that's what, and yeah, my tongue is on fire as I even say all of this. I don't know how I'm able to say all this. What jumps out obviously right away is the title and the album art. I just feel like it's so ballsy. Like, at this point, they're a big band. You put out the most off-putting or like unaccessible album title and cover, and you still sell over 1 million copies in your first week. I think it has all their biggest hits. I think it is improved so much in terms of its catchiness and its melodies. I don't know, just all around, honestly, it's just more entertaining and more fucking, like, I don't know, to me, I struggle to find a song that I, like, didn't really like.
This album is 1 hour and 14 minutes.
It is 1 hour and 14 minutes, and like 9 minutes of it is Ben Stiller just talking shit.
Yeah, that's the worst. We might as well get the worst part out of the way.
Oh my god.
I think the outro is
God.
stupid. I wish it wasn't there. I really wish the outro wasn't there.
I skipped it. I couldn't do it. I actually, like...
Yeah, you should.
I never do this shit. I see an album through. I see a movie through. I, like, skimmed through this one. I was like, alright, it's gotten 2 minutes in. I cannot do this anymore. I'm going to 4 minutes, 5, 6, whatever. I just, like, skimmed through it, and then I was like, I'm done. I can't.
Yeah, I mean, it's not even, like, a song or anything. Like, it's a pointless outro. I really hate when albums have pointless outros
And for, like, 9
intros.
minutes.
I really wish it wasn't there, because I feel like Boiler would have been... Isn't Boiler? Oh, no. It's Rollin'... It's the Rollin' remix with DMX. Yeah, that would have been a
god,
fucking...
that was dog shit.
You didn't like that?
Oh, that song is fucking terrible.
To me, it just sounds like the original, but, like, not that much different, really.
To me, it sounds like the original, but try and, like, hip-hopified, you know, like, rapified. Like, add, like, some different... different instrumentation on top of it. Now it's like a rap song. I mean, that's all it sounded like to me.
I fucking love the original Rollin'. I think the original Rollin' is an absolute banger.
Oh yeah,
I love that song. I've loved it since I was a kid. Lyrics don't make fucking sense. Like what's that fucking 1 2 3 times 2 to the 6 Jones and Freer fix that Limp Bizkit mix. I love it.
Yeah,
it's brilliant. Do more of this, Limp Bizkit. It's great. It's fucking great. The opener of this album,
dude, I fucking love Hot Dog. It's like it's my favorite opener on any of their albums.
It's kind of growing on me in like a so bad it's good way. I kind of fucking hate it, but it's also so fucking funny. Like, just his ladies and gentlemen, oh my god, it's comedy gold.
I think he wanted to like break his record with how many F-bombs he can drop in a song, and I just love this. I love the line. If I say fuck 2 more times, that's 46 fucks in this fucked up rhyme.
Fucked up AIDS from fucked up sex is probably like the worst lyric I've ever fucking heard in my life. Get that fucking shit out of here.
Yeah.
But it's not riffing on 9 Inch Nails, it's a diss song to 9 Inch Nails. Because him and Trent Reznor and Marilyn Manson all had a feud in the 90s. So the whole track is just like a diss on 9 Inch Nails. Like, it's like the chorus is just like him uncreatively using 9 Inch Nails song titles.
Yeah.
To like say, oh, you wish you were me, Trent, you fucking depressed motherfucker. Or whatever. It's just like, oh my god. Who are you to diss 9 Inch Nails? At this point, they'd put out the Downward Spiral, Pretty Hate Machine, Fragile. Fuck off, Fred Durst. Stay in your lane. Go into hip hop. I don't fucking know.
To me, yeah, I didn't even know that was really a diss song. I mean, all I knew, what was that one line? A 9 Inch Nail, something get knocked the fuck out. Along with the whole, like, they're quoting that song Closer or whatever by 9 Inch Nails. I don't like the chorus to Hot Dog. Like, I don't like when he does that whole, like, Closer rip-off of that song or whatever. Like, I just love the verses and the instrumental over the verses. I think it's, like, the coolest Limp Bizkit instrumental, honestly. Honestly becoming one of my favorite Limp Bizkit songs just because of the flow of it. I just think it's such a fun song. This album is full of, like, all my my favorite songs from them, if I'm being honest.
Kind of like It'll Be Okay.
Yeah.
The song they did for Mission Impossible 2 wasn't awful. Somehow wasn't a very annoying interpolation of the fucking Mission Impossible theme.
Actually, I don't like the part really where it's like, I know why you hate me, because hate is what I've seen lately. I just like the instrumental on that song. I don't really like the, yet again, I think the verses are like their strongest suit. My Way, banger. My Generation, banger. I don't care. Boiler, banger. Dude, I mean, I love this whole album. I'm just being honest, I do.
This is such an odd album. Like, you're talking about all these standouts, but like there's nothing. A lot of these songs I've heard twice or multiple times over. I like, for the life of me, I cannot tell you what Get Your Groove On sounds like. I can't tell you what fucking Boiler sounds like, you know? It's like it kind of feels like there's Limp Bizkit don't have a personality. It's like
I think there's something to them if you're the kind of person that can latch onto that kind of music, but
yeah,
you're just not.
Yeah, I mean, it's an attitude and sound that you just isn't targeted towards you, or you don't gravitate to, you know? But like, so I mean, I get it. This captures, like, specifically, this music captures a certain early 2000s metal angst in terms of like its sound and its audience and its attitude, and it just captures, like, you know, it's like these albums are like time capsules, honestly, at this point.
It does feel like a time
just
capsule
like,
at times, yeah.
And that can be in a good
Limp
and a bad
Bizkit
way.
does.
Sometimes it could sound too dated. Other times it can be kind of like goofy fun, like I said, like how it's just like, you know, just the weird things they thought were a good idea at the time, like putting that "Life in the Fast Lane" like into that song. Like, it's so goofy, but I have fun with it. I'm gonna give it a 10 out of 10.
You madman.
I am a madman, dude. This is like my ultimate. Call it a guilty pleasure. It's my ultimate guilty pleasure album. I have so much fun with all these songs.
There is no such thing as a guilty pleasure. You love it. You fucking want to sleep with it. You want to get a vinyl copy of Chocolate Starfish and the hot dog flavor.
Actually, that would be awesome.
You want to sleep with it. You want to sleep with it every night. You just want to cuddle up to it. You want to just kiss it onto the fucking forehead as you go to sleep.
I want a stuffed animal thing of those creatures on the album cover. Those fucking guys.
I want a stuffed Fred Durst. Not like taxidermy, like fucking like a little teddy, like a little teddy bear.
I guarantee they sell
his
them.
like goatee has like a scratch and sniff that smells like hot dogs. That'd be cool.
Bangers all around, and giving it a 2 out of 10.
Right there with you, 2 out of 10.
I feel like the heat is making me more aggressive this episode, so I'm sorry, Quinn.
Hey, like Fred Durst said at Woodstock. What Fred Durst said at Woodstock 1999. Just let go of all your negativity. Just get it all out. And that's what people thought incited the riot. And it's like, no, he wasn't inciting the fucking riot.
It's time for that album, guys.
See, okay. Now, we're moving.
No, Quinn, no.
No. What's no? No, I'll introduce the album, then you guys can just let it all out. Just let it out. Moving on to Results May Vary, which lives up to its title because for some reason this is their most divisive album, and I don't really know why, because it's not interesting enough to be divisive. So that's my opening, but you guys will prove me wrong.
I can kind of agree that it's not that interesting.
But it's like, this
Wes
is a...
Borland left the band after Chocolate Starfish. That's
yes.
all I have to say. It fucking shows.
It
Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah.
This is one of the single worst albums I've ever heard in my fucking life.
No way.
It is.
It's up there.
So fucking bad. It is just so fucking uninspired. It's so fucking... It's so lifeless.
It's just the same shit over and over and over and over and over again.
You were talking about Limp Bizkit having some sort of personality. You know what? I can see that. Results may vary. It's fucking white bread. There is no fucking flavor to it. There's no fucking any semblance of personality to it. It is just raw fucking dog shit. Don't get me fucking started on the fucking Behind Blue Eyes cover. Jesus fucking Christ almighty.
To me, that just seemed like another unnecessary cover, but it wasn't like... To me, it was a competent enough cover. It's just unnecessary. I didn't see what he didn't, disrespect the song egregiously.
That might have been the first one I heard.
Yeah, it's one of their biggest songs.
Yeah, I think it might have been the first one.
Yet another weird thing is, why is the one song off this album kind of like their first album, their one song is a cover of a song that Limp Bizkit really, why are they covering it? That type of thing.
Because none of the other songs are fucking interesting. At least Limp Bizkit can say, oh, we did a Behind Blue Eyes cover. A more recent kind of example of something like this would be like Disturbed's cover of The Sound of Silence. That got fucking huge. Even though it's fucking awful.
It is.
It is fucking dog shit, but no one can name another song off that fucking album. They don't even know what the fucking album's called. I don't know what the fucking album's called. I just know that cover.
Hey, dude, I'm the only person that could name songs. There's a song called The Light that's on that album that's actually good.
If you recommend Disturbed one day, I'm not fucking coming on that podcast. I swear to God.
It's not my fault I grew up listening to them. That definitely did something to me. It kind of feels like a lot of the personality was sucked out of it. It does feel a bit hollow in some areas. Its worst crime is that it can come off bland. That's its worst crime. I don't think overall I don't see it as such an egregiously bad album. Like, it's not like they're competent songs. You know, it's just, maybe it's just not as interesting. I mean, I could still name a few I liked.
They're competent enough songs, but it's just like there's no fucking flavor to this album at all. It's just so bland.
Like, another song that's kind of up there in terms of Limp Bizkit songs for me is Eat You Alive, which has some of the creepiest fucking lyrics I've ever heard. Everything on here is so lifeless that it's all kind of homogenized, and it's kind of hard to get so worked up about it. No doubt that I'd love to sniff on them panties now. I just want to look at you all day. There ain't nothing wrong with that. Oh my god, what's wrong with you, Fred? You are a fucking psychopath. You need to be analyzed.
Yet again, though, if I'm playing devil's advocate, because somebody has to, I'm not defending those lyrics. Look, they're creepy, cringy lyrics, whatever. But artists have built a certain personality for themselves that people have come to expect. When I pull up the line from Kanye, you know, if you bleached your asshole and I get bleach on my t-shirt, I would feel like an asshole, or something like that. Let's say Fred said that. I feel like it would be viewed differently. But it's like when it's Kanye, it's like, oh, that's just Kanye being Kanye. Or when it's Lil Wayne saying something
it fits better
really
into his
sick.
kind of music.
There's like a divide between people who think it's goofy and people who don't like it. I don't like that line, but like fucking, it's better than any Limp Bizkit lyric. And comparing this album, I'm not saying Limp Bizkit as a whole don't have a personality. I rescind that comment from earlier. They do have a personality, however little I gel with it, but on this, cannot be found. It is just so homogenized, so lifeless.
If I was to name songs I liked, I don't know if I should even bother. I thought Underneath the Gun was one of the better songs. I didn't like Eat You Alive. I really didn't like that. Give Me the Mic was okay, even though it was like kind of like the lyrics are nothing, you know? I thought the first half was more bearable than the second half.
This is a very bad song. However, I think it's the closest to being good on the album. It has the bones of a good song. Lonely World. It's the one song on the album that I can remember. And that to me says it's not the worst song ever.
I still enjoy the first half, I really do. A lot of the personality it does. I don't know, I still find it listenable. I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10.
1 out of 10.
It's a fat fucking 1 out of 10. It's the definition of a 1 out of 10.
Alright, moving on to The Unquestionable Truth. So this is technically, I think you guys said this is technically an EP, but it's The Unquestionable Truth Part 1. I don't know why it's called Part 1 if there's not a Part 2. I know that this is where we are probably gonna... I mean, this and the last album is where we're gonna disagree the most, but let her rip.
It's the funniest album.
You think it's funny?
Yeah.
It is hilarious.
What? It's very funny.
It's hilarious at how...
It is very funny.
It addresses all of these different issues with like each song, but it's like so surface level with how it communicates all of its lyrics. It's like painful, but it's so funny like how genuine he's being with it.
Is it funny how seriously he takes it, but it's surface level because we've come to know Fred Durst and their music up until this point as being so goofy and can't take it seriously, and then they try. Like, if this was if this was a random band's first album, would we think it's as funny?
This could be anyone.
Yes.
This could be anyone. If I heard one of these songs just playing, I'd be like, oh my god, this is hilarious.
A wholesale rip-off of Rage Against the Machine. I know you're expecting that to be said by me, but it's a complete rage rip-off. From the instrumentals to Durst's vocals, it's like he's trying to purposefully ape off Zach De La Rocha's vocals. Yeah. And with the political theming and the album cover, it's like a complete rage rip-off.
I know that they've stated that they were influenced by, they obviously took great inspiration from Rage Against the Machine for this album, so you can view it either, yeah, yeah, you can view it as a ripoff, or you can view it as them homaging them or taking inspiration. It depends on what, glass half full, glass half empty. I actually liked that they finally switched up their sound a bit. I was like, this is like at least new for the band.
It's really just like all the lyrics that stood out to me the most with this, because it was just so...
The priest.
Oh my... The priest. Dude, what the fuck is this? What the fuck is this? I got a kid. Should I send him to Sunday school? I got a kid. Should I send him to Sunday school so you can fuck him? Oh no, you ain't gonna fuck him. How about this? I don't fucking know who I can trust in this world, and I'm gonna blow. What?
For a political album, and for an album like Limp Bizkit, it's very like centrist in its views, which makes it hard to be angry at any of its views. So it's just like, yeah, these are kind of surface level things. Like, yeah, this is kind of like agreeable in a way, I think a way to describe this album is they're looking for a machine to rage against, but it's just hard for them to even come up with like a song topic, really. It's just like, oh yeah, this is kind of in vogue right now. Let's criticize this. Let's criticize the Catholic Church. Let's criticize all this fucking shit. Well, Rage Against the Machine's lyrics are pointedly about something, whether it be like a revolution or like societal issues or whatever. And like it's heavy on that stuff. It is so heavy.
Yeah, well, I mean, hey, at least it's their shortest project, which I'm sure you guys at least would say is a positive about this, right? It's their shortest.
Absolutely.
It was 29 minutes. I liked how they at least switched up their sound. They tried. You can at least, whether it succeeded or not, their intentions with the album, they at least tried talking about more than I'm gonna knock you the fuck out or I want to smell your panties. They at least
That's a good point.
tried. They at least tried to make a statement on something important. They're obviously not used to doing that. I guess I'm more forgiving when it comes to music. I don't know.
It definitely feels like a angrier album, but I don't feel like the instrumental accompanied that too well.
Yeah.
Like I didn't really feel any passion or aggression, and like a lot of that does come with the lyrics too being the way they are.
As a Rage Against the Machine fan, it's very, very hard not to compare this album to any of Rage's stuff. And I just rather listen to Rage Against the Machine. They have more substantial stuff to say. They have more creative instrumentation. Like, Tom Morello is such a fucking great guitarist. He's like best case scenario of fucking Wes Borland in a way.
Another 7 from me. It's gonna be another 7 out of 10.
Yeah, it's a 1 out of 10.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, so 6 years later, they came back with Gold Cobra. And, I mean, for me, you can definitely tell, at least coming off the last two things that they put out, which was Results May Vary and Unquestionable Truth, it at least feels like a return to form.
They got Wes Borland back.
And the instrumentals are better. I mean, it is like a kind of, in-your-face album.
I don't even know if I have much to say about this one. This one was just so kind of like in one ear, out the other.
It's another one where I just laughed, but I was also like, how do you think this is a good idea at all? But it's like the fucking, it's like a 40-second outro of Shotgun, where it's just the sound of a shotgun over and over again. I was like, oh my god, what is this? What am I hearing? This isn't music. It's just the sound of a fucking shotgun over and over again. Jesus.
Shotgun is so dumb.
Shotgun is
really
awful.
Indulgent.
Everybody jumps at the sound of the shotgun.
They're really indulgent with their outros. Like, not even just the outro songs, but like the outros to their songs. Like, they're really indulgent. Like, I really like the song Loser, but the outro to that song, when he discovers like the auto-tune, I'm like, oh my god, like it just makes me roll my eyes.
So dumb.
Forgot about that.
Yeah, and it just feels like another dated thing. Like Fred Durst discovered auto-tune, and it's like, why'd you have to throw that at the end of that song? Like, I was enjoying that song. I don't like the song Douchebag, I will say. I just don't. I like Bring It Back. I like Gold Cobra. I like Killer in You.
I think Loser is okay. It's kind of somewhere in the middle for me. But I mean, that outro.
The outro is pointless. I don't know why he has to do that.
I like Walking Away and Angels.
No, compared to their last two albums, I think this has, like, ratio-wise, it has good to bad songs. The ratio is a lot better. I hope you get at least, out of 70 songs, I hope you get at least a couple out of
96.
Out of 96 songs. Almost 100 songs. I hope you found at least a couple. To me, this was a consistently good return to form. Like, there are tracks I don't really like that I do skip, but overall, I found it more fun. But definitely more fun than their last two.
The tracks are a lot more, heavy on the hooks, I think.
They're a lot catchier, and with Wes Borland being back, they're at least more creative,
Only really a handful of them, actually worked for me in in that regard, but like a lot of the hooks I just found really, really annoying. Especially Shotgun.
Yeah.
God, Shotgun is horrible.
Fuck Shotgun.
I still think Douchebag is even worse than Shotgun, because remember that it's all it is I'ma fuck you up, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you up. I'm a douchebag, I'm gonna fuck you up. It's like, oh my god.
Most of the album is just in one ear out the other. I listened to it today. I can't remember much of it.
It doesn't have a break stuff. It doesn't have a roll in anywhere. You know, like it. I mean, they're past their peak in terms of like big hits. But I think they still put out like good, listenable, catchy songs here and there, you know, scattered throughout.
I would give it a 3 out of 10. It's not the worst one. Of like the longer albums they have, this one dragged the least, so that's good.
I'm giving Gold Cobra a hot 1 out of 10.
Oh my god.
Even I'm like, what?
I didn't like anything on it. Nothing stood out to me. There's not an aspect of it where I'm like, oh yeah, that was pretty good.
I'm giving it a 7. Strong 7. No, okay, why is it randomly hot now? Like, why is this randomly worse than all the other Peppers? 10 years later, they dropped an album 10 years after Gold Cobra. I'm sure you guys will appreciate the title of this album. Still Sucks. Limp Bizkit Still Sucks. They've fully, to me, this album is them at their most self-aware, their most goofy, and their most tongue-in-cheek, easily.
I can absolutely agree.
You know? And like 10 years, everything from the title to the album art to like some of the songs, like it feels like in 10 years is they know who they are, and they've probably changed a lot, because 10 years change, you know, you could change a lot as a person in 10 years. They've gotten a lot older, and I feel like they've just like, they're just having fun at this point. They just like, we don't give a shit. We're just being goofy. We're having fun.
And it's like 40 minutes, isn't it?
It's like
32 minutes. Yeah.
Oh god. Sorry. Fuck me, that hit.
No,
like
that
motherfucker.
last one fucked me up too,
shit.
honestly.
I think this is pretty tolerable. I want to shout out specifically Dad Vibes.
Yeah, dude, that
absolute
song's
banger. Oh my god.
I'm glad we can agree on that. And honestly becoming one of my favorite Limp Bizkit songs in general.
Unfortunately, I've listened to it like 20 times according to Last FM, which is shameful, honestly.
Jesus.
It's a banger though.
But even like the opening Out of Style I thought was solid. Dirty Rotten Biscuit, Turn It Up Bitch I do like a lot.
I like that song too. I think that's my second favorite on the album.
Hated Snacky Poo.
Snacky Poo?
Yes, Snacky Poo is awful.
Oh, you hated it? I was like going with the tone of the album, which is like, this is like a goofy, almost like childlike approach to this. It's very, and so like it fits, but I had fun with it. It's the one time I actually liked one of their ending skits. I thought that was pretty funny when Wes Borland was being interviewed by that fucking radio guy.
It was so weird hearing those band names on a Limp Bizkit album. Like
I was waiting, yeah.
Godspeed You Black Emperor, Nick Cave, Aphex Twin is just like,
yeah.
Why are you naming off all these great artists?
Because they're Wes Borland's favorite bands.
You know, their song outros can linger too much. Like that one, I was just like, no. It's boring to listen to after a while. I was just like, okay, I get it, but like, let's move it along, you know?
I actually thought Wes's response were quite funny. The way he was just kind of not interested, just like, yeah. But overall, what makes it stand out is, they're embracing their legacy. I think, this fucking hit me like a cunt, holy crap. Look, if people enjoy Limp Bizkit now, this is like completely contrary to what I was saying earlier. You know what, fair play. Good on you. I'm glad you enjoy this music. I'm glad a lot of younger people are getting into Bizkit, they're getting into older music.
Getting behind like this album in particular, I can do that, I feel like. But a lot of their early stuff, I just...
Like, there's nothing really on this that's really cringy or outdated. Well, obviously not outdated, it only came out like 3 years ago. But for a modern Limp Bizkit album, it's better than it has any right to be.
It's weird that it comes out at a point where they're like the least relevant.
I don't know, dude. I mean, I feel like they were in the 2010s. I feel like that's when they were obviously like really irrelevant, but I'm telling you, like, I don't know if it's because I've been looking up so much Limp Bizkit stuff and now I'm targeted as like advertising Limp Bizkit shit to me on Instagram, but like I have been noticing more and more for some reason, like I said, it's almost like a weird Limp Bizkit resurgence in a way. And like I said, just look up the Lollapalooza concert. I mean, you don't have to, but like I'm just saying, like there's a Lollapalooza concert they did a few months ago this year, and their crowd has been bigger than ever, and they were fucking hype.
Do you mean the one that happened like 3 or 4 years ago, where Fred Durst has like the bleach blonde hair and goatee?
No, not that one. This one, he has like the full gray beard and the sunglasses and like the backwards cap, and he like the tracksuit. Like this was like a few months ago.
Sorry, because the performance I'm talking, I think it was either Break Stuff or Roland they did.
Yeah,
and it was Lollapalooza like 2020, 2021. That's like the first time I thought about Limp Bizkit in years, and I think that clip went viral, and everyone was like, "Hey, Limp Bizkit weren't so bad." I remember that being like a thing on Twitter around the time, but like yeah. And before that, I guess he came into cinephile consciousness with the Fanatic, because between Gold Cobra and Still Sucks, he did like how many films? He did a few. The Fanatic and like 1 or 2 others.
Yeah. So
he's still been working, and he's also a Russian citizen and bootlicker, but fair play. Still Sucks wasn't that bad.
I like Dad Vibes and I like Goodbye. I think Goodbye was good.
Goodbye was good, even though it sounded like the least Limp Bizkit song ever. You know, it sounded like nothing like them. Yeah.
It grabbed me in the moment. I was like, okay, this is nice.
I think what bogs it down for me a bit, like even this album, there's moments to where it's bogged down, is that like some of the slow ballads I really don't like Don't Change.
Yeah.
Parts of You Bring...
Don't Change.
I just don't like it when he does these ballads, and I really don't like it. It puts the momentum to a halt. It slows the momentum of the funness.
I think it works for an outro song.
Oh, Goodbye, yeah. I mean, maybe, yeah, Goodbye does, but like Don't Change and like You Bring Out the Worst in Me. I'm trying to think of, like, there was at least a few ballads, like a few slower songs on this album, and I just didn't really think they fit.
I think it's really just Don't Change and You Bring Out the Worst in Me. I think those are the only 3.
Yeah. And then parts of Empty Hole, I think, but maybe I'm thinking of a different one. I don't know. I mean, overall, it was yet another solid one for me. And
4 out of 10.
4 out of 10.
Look at that. The clouds have opened up. A Limp Bizkit album, higher than a 3 out of 10. I'm happy. I'm sticking. You know what? I'm just gonna stick with my streak of 7s, because honestly, like, they've maintained a quality of 7s. Like, I still think it's a good album. I just wish that if they did not put those ballads in there, and they tightened it up, it could be an 8. It could be an 8. Let's quick do a ranking. All right, starting off at number 7, I'll start with the ranking. I've got $3 Bill Y'all. I think their first album is their worst for me.
I've got Results May Vary.
I've also got Results May Vary.
Number 6, after re-listening to it, I had to bump it down. I have the Unquestionable Truth Part 1.
Right there with you.
Oh my god, we all agree.
Holy shit.
Unquestionable Truth, number 6.
Wow. Alright, number 5, I have Results May Vary.
$3 Bill Y'all, probably.
At number 5, I have Gold Cobra.
Okay, number 4, I have Still Sucks. I have Still Sucks at number 4.
Number 4 would be Chocolate Starfish and the hot dog flavored water.
Yeah, number 4, I have $3 Bill Y'all.
Number 3, I have Significant Other.
Right there with you.
Really? Number 3, I have Chocolate Starfish and the hot dog flavored water.
Number 2, I've got Gold Cobra. Number 2. I honestly didn't expect it to be that high, honestly.
Right there with you.
We're only like 5 points in our rating apart, but we're on the same ranking, so that's perfect.
Number 2, I have Significant Other.
Number 1, got Chocolate Starfish and the hot dog flavored water.
Yes.
Do you want to say it together, Liam?
Yes, I do.
3, 2, 1.
Still sucks.
We don't need to do closing thoughts in the band. I mean, people know how we feel at this point. But I just wanted to say, I think the reason, like I said, there was a reason I picked this band, and it was because I didn't want to pick a too serious topic for our 50th, because I thought it's a fun celebration. We're having to eat these peppers. I thought I'd pick a goofy topic to pair with the peppers. But now I think about it, I wish I picked like the Bloodhound Gang or something goofy that was actually good or better.
No. You know what, Quinn?
What?
You know what, Quinn? I'll say this much. I've hated you for the past 2 weeks because I've had to listen to you. I have despised you. I've wished for your death, but I had fun with that discussion, and you know what? It wasn't a bad pick for a topic.
It
was all worth it in the end. Thank you, Quinn.
Honestly, I had after I saw you guys listen to the albums, I almost just said, like, should we just switch the topic? Like, should we just switch? But it was too late. You'd already started listening to the album, so I'm like, well, we're fucking in it now.
Can't switch just because of differing opinions. That's not what this whole thing is about.
I know, but 50th episode, big hate fest. I mean, it's not a hate fest, but I mean, you know. Like I said, I don't know why in the moment I didn't pick Bloodhound Gang, because I wanted something goofy, not serious.
But yeah, fun discussion. I got a lot out of me.
It's a one-of-a-kind episode. I don't think anybody else will ever do an episode where they eat hot peppers and talk about Limp Bizkit's discography, so we're at least unique in that way.
Until someone builds a bigger hot pepper in Limp Bizkit discography episode.
Yeah.
It's a little Oppenheimer reference for you.
Yeah, I just got
God, my stomach is in fucking tatters. Holy shit.
All right, let's get through these listener questions, and then we'll recover from this. So, listener questions from All Right So Reviews. He sent a few questions in. First one: has bands like Limp Bizkit and Nickelback become cool to like now? I don't think it's become cool to like them, but I think people are less afraid to like them now. Because, like, you know, it's not around the time the music was coming out. We've had, like, years and years to reflect on it, and I think people are less afraid to embrace their opinion now.
I think people have gotten dumber.
A bit of both.
I don't know if that has to do with that. Man, look at that. Keelan's been the biggest bully of the show, and he was the one criticizing the bully lyrics earlier.
Fred Durst has been infecting my life for the past 2 weeks. I can't get away from him.
I know, right?
He's like my Green Goblin.
You look in the mirror and he's talking. Even I, for the past, well, it's been like 3 weeks since we had to like wait a week. Like, even I, for the past 3 weeks, have been listening to even too much Limp Bizkit for even me. Like, I was getting to a point to where like I just want to get this over with. One of his other questions: what's worse, Fred's music career or his directing career?
I've only seen The Fanatic.
That's tough. No, I'd say music, because his music videos are quite well directed. He's not a completely untalented director.
Yeah.
There's probably something I could get out of his movies, but not his music.
Yeah.
The Fanatic isn't like a total train wreck. It's so bad it's good, but like it has decent elements.
Yeah, it does. And he's always
shot well.
Yeah. That's been his dream. He's always said he's always wanted to be a director. He's always wanted to be a filmmaker. He never really wanted to stick with music. So, if only he could have, you know, followed through with that. And then his last question: with Limp Bizkit touring again, will we see a resurgence in frat boy nu metal?
I hope not.
No, I mean, I think there's already a little resurgence in like nu metal and like Limp Bizkit fans, but I mean, it's not going to reach the mainstream. I don't think. Nu metal is in the past. It's never coming back.
No, I disagree. Oh no, that was a good pun. I disagree. By Poppy, that's a nu metal album.
Oh, okay, yeah. Oh, that is nu metal. Yeah,
but
well,
also,
is that nu metal? That's just metal. That's not nu metal.
That is nu metal. I would consider that nu metal.
To me, nu metal. Sorry, not to like, you know, split hairs on this, but like I think nu metal, you need, like, they define it by turntables, rap elements, you know, tuned down guitars. Like, to me, Poppy's just metal pop. But I mean, I don't know.
Slipknot don't have turntables.
Yeah, they do. In their first album, they for sure do. If you listen to their first album,
yeah, sorry.
It's splitting hairs when it comes to saying like what's nu metal and what's, you know, metal's metal at the end of the day. But I just feel like
when you see it.
You know when you see it. Yeah, exactly. But no, I don't know if we'll see a full-on resurgence of Limp Bizkit, like fucking, you know. There is a little resurgence now, and it's cool. It's cool to see them getting love. But from Film Forager, she asks, what tastes better, the chocolate starfish or the hot dog flavored water?
The chocolate starfish, probably.
Yeah, probably the chocolate starfish. You think the hot dog flavored water?
I mean, yes.
What?
It depends whose.
You don't know what a chocolate starfish is? It's an asshole.
You don't know what a chocolate starfish is?
Oh, well, we're cutting that out. Don't keep that. I don't want to keep that in.
What it is.
No, I know. Well, good to know.
Kiss my starfish, my chocolate starfish. That's literally the lyrics of fucking Hot Dog.
Look at that. Look at my innocent mind not knowing this stuff. I imagined a fucking starfish covered in chocolate. That's all I imagined, because my innocent brain goes there. All right, well, that settles that question pretty much. Last question from movies that don't suck. Favorite song on Chocolate Starfish? Boiler is one of my personal favorites. Boiler's a great song, like I said.
It'll be okay.
It is.
It's the only one I
That's a
wrote
good
down.
pick too.
Rollin' Air Raid Vehicle. That one specifically.
That is a banger, yeah. For me, it's either Living It Up or Hot Dog. Those are my two favorites off that album that I come back to. All right, well, that was the last of the questions. So, bam, we got done with it.
Thank you, people.
Thanks, people. If this episode brought you guys anything, and I'm talking to you two, then like at least it made you appreciate it. It'll make you appreciate music even more after this episode, because you'll go back to listening to better music.
I have been given a lot of high ratings to other albums recently.
Yeah, because you're like, well, I've been coming off Limp Bizkit, anything but fucking masterpiece, pretty much.
It might have ruined music for me. I didn't even enjoy an UNKLE album that much.
Oh no, it had the opposite effect. That's about it. So next topic, huh? I don't even know whose it is.
It's me.
It's Liam's.
We're gonna be staying in the realm of music, I'm afraid, boys.
Oh boy.
Is it something to be fearful of?
No, quite a short discography. It's the shortest one we've done so far. So it's an artist that I've loved for quite a while. I think their sound, I'm especially intrigued to hear what Quinn would think, because I don't know if this kind of sound has been that explored by him, really. But I'm recommending Moderat.
Ooh.
So there's 4 albums by Moderat. The first one is just self-titled, and then there's 2, 3, and more data.
I have heard the first one.
I've never even heard of them.
I like electronic. It's quite an odd sound to try to describe, really, sometimes, because, I don't know, it feels very distinctive to them. I don't really see that many people making music quite like Moderat. And, I mean, it's kind of 3 separate acts, sort of, because there's Moderat, Mode Selector, and Apparat, and they're all kind of within the same group, sort of. But I'm just focusing on Moderat.
Nice. This was very new to me, for sure.
Since I heard the album, even, I've been considering getting a tattoo of the second album cover. I just adore that album so much.
I look forward to hearing the rest and listening to the first one again. I haven't heard it in a while.
Yeah, I'm sure that you will both at least find something you like. They're really, really good.
All right, well, that's about it. So, you can find me on Instagram, Letterboxd, all that at Views by Quinn. So check it out in the description.
You can find me at Movies Music Me on things. I'm currently not doing YouTube anymore, so that's a thing. You won't find me on there for quite a while, probably. I'm just doing the podcast and Instagram and reviewing and stuff at the moment, so yeah. But Letterboxd for all that shit. I mean, not Letterboxd, Linktree. Jesus, I'm tired.
Yeah.
You can find me on the Chocolate Starfish in the description. The Chocolate Starfish is Fred Durst.
Oh man, we I think it lobotomized him.
Goodbye.
Okay, peace out, bitches.
Peace out, bitches.
Peace out.